At this time, our page is built. We're not going to add anything else to the page itself. The images, the links, the text, that's all there now. This lesson is just going to show some tags that give structure to your page. None of them will display in the actual page, but they're there just to set off different sections of your web page. And the first is the HTML tag, which is found in almost every web page. And it's just opening bracket HTML. This is put after the doc type declaration, and it starts before any other line of code after the doc type. And I'm just going to cut this out here, and it actually goes to the end of your last line of code. Let's just add a space here so we can kind of set these off a little better. Okay. There are two other tags commonly used. One is called the head and the other is called the body. The head actually just is a tag that separates the part of the web page that doesn't actually display in the browser. For example, your title and your meta tags and your link to your style sheet would be some of those things. So that comes after the HTML tag, and it's simply head. And then we're going to cut this closing tag out. And let's see, our style sheet reference is here. Okay, so I'm going to open up a line there just to show where the head ends. And on line 9, we'll paste that back. The next, of course, is the body tag, which is actually what is displayed in the web page. So open up another line, and we'll put the body, the opening tag here. And it's simply body. You'll see these on the source code of a lot of web pages. Although in the Google Style Guide says that they're optional, you'll still see them in many, many pages. The body, of course, ends right at the last piece of code here before the closing HTML tag. So we'll stick it in right there. Okay, now of course I'm not displaying this in the browser because none of these actually will display anything. They're basically just structure tags to give a little bit of division into your web page so that we can see, all right, this is the part that's actually displayed. This is the part that's not. Now, in HTML5, there are some newer tags that are actually also used. They don't display, but they break up the parts of the web page into different sections also. And most modern web pages have an area that I'm showing you with the mouse here, which has a logo and some navigation where to go. And then they have the main section, which is here. And usually at the end, although we don't have one in our page, they have a footer. This is, I think, where the footer should go in the CSS. But anyway, these are new HTML5 tags. So what we would do is we want to put this header right here where the logo is, and it ends usually where the main title of the page goes. So if I look on my body tag, I'm going to open up a new tag here because this is where it starts. And I'm going to put header, which is different from the head. The head is the non-displayed part of a web page, and the header is actually the displayed logo and the navigation, the main navigation of the website and things like that. So we're going to find where the, okay, About Us is where this header section actually ends. So on line 16, I'm going to put my closing header tag. Another thing that's commonly found, like I said, in web pages is the footer. And the footer actually comes, this new HTML5 tag, the footer tag, it commonly would have your name and contact information and the copyright, And that's usually placed after the main section of your body, which would be this last list here. And we're going to open up a section for the footer here. Then we're going to have to put something in it. Okay. So I guess I'm going to put, let's see. Let's kind of scroll down so we can see it better. Created by Gail and 2014. I think I'd like to put a copyright there. Okay, so in order to put a copyright here, you use something called an entity. And these entities, you can find out the various kind of entities. They're special symbols. And you would want to look up the WC3 consortium site, and it will tell you all about the different symbols for the different entities. The copyright entity would be written with an ampersand and then copy. And that just tells you to put that copyright symbol in there. That will, actually, when we save it, that will display as copyright symbol. The syntax is ampersand copy, and then when we save it and display it, now you can see I have this footer region. In his style sheet, Mike Walmsley has created a little box for that, and you can see the copyright symbol there. So that's my footer. The other thing that's new in HTML5 would be the section. The sections would be anything in this main body outside the header or footer, and there can be several. It depends on, say, for this one, for example, let's say that we wanted to have everything until the horizontal rule be part of one section. So what I would do is I would come up here, and so the section would start here because it starts with my title. So it's just a tag called section. When you have these things in your code, you can start styling like each of the sections differently, say with its fonts or its backgrounds or whatever. So that's mainly why they would have something like this, and also to break up the sections logically. So let's see, we said we would finish this right where the horizontal rule was, which is after the image here. When it says my sweet ride, here's your horizontal rule. So this will be one section. And then we'll just put another one in for the whole rest of the page. And these are really convenient to break up your page and make it a little bit easier to follow the code. When the code starts to you get lots of code on one page, things become confusing, and just finding some logical way to break them up helps immensely. So we're going to come down here, and right before the footer, of course, we're going to end this section. The final tag we're going to talk about is a really useful tag, and especially if you're working on a website with other people, but even in your own code, to just keep track of what's going on from one moment to the next, or one day to the next, is commenting tags. Now, say for example, I wanted to say, okay, I want to break this section up into this code up into two sections. And I want to let everyone know about that maybe you can work on this section, this person works on this section, someone else works on the other section. And I'd like to be able, some way to put in my code, a way to tell these other workers on the website that this is what I want to happen. So what I can do is there's a special tag for that too. It's a little bit different. It starts with an opening bracket, and then an exclamation point, and then two dashes. And you notice as soon as I put that second dash in, everything turned white, which means if I was to run this page again, nothing would show except for the header, because all this is now commented out, we could say. In fact, I can actually show you that. So you can see, because of this comment, the start of this comment, I haven't ended it, nothing is showing. So right here I'm just going to say this, this is the first section. Okay, in order to end this comment, it's 2 dashes again, no exclamation point this time, and then a closing bracket. And you see I just got the rest of my website back. And I'm going to do the same thing for the second section. So I'm going to put another comment right here. Remember again, it's opening bracket, exclamation point, and there goes the whole rest of my website until I finish this comment off. Second part of, we'll just say the second section like I did before. And then my closing tag, and there it goes back again. So I'll save that, and this pretty much completes this profile page. So I can see a few things I might need to do to fix it up. Looks like here I need to just open up some, need to open up a paragraph or something, just because these things are kind of falling into each other. So I will do that. So it looks like I need to put maybe a little space right here after my title. There you go. It's optional closing tag with a paragraph. So let me get rid of it. And then that should fix things, I hope. There we go. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. There we go. And that's it. So if you've been coding this along with me, you should have something that looks pretty similar.